I'm Lisa Pickering, and welcome to CITV's Press Talk. Here's the most recent news and information from the government of Bermuda.
Good morning, and thank you all for coming. As your Premier, I want to address directly with you about where we are as a country. The events that transpired last Friday and the disturbing images that we have witnessed have been forever and sadly etched in our minds. As a Bermudian, these images were extremely hurtful for me to see. It was reminiscent of our time in history when we were extremely divided. And this is not who we are, and this is not who we want to be. We may have different aspirations and different backgrounds, but we share common bonds. We are neighbors, co-workers, colleagues, and friends. We are Bermudians. And that is why it has been very difficult for me to find the right words to express my feelings about what took place. Because like all of you, I love my country. I realize that those of us who disagree politically have a fundamental right to express those views in a peaceful and legal manner. And despite our differences in our political ideologies, we must commit to the democratic process. Democracy must always win. Not party, not politics, but the process of democracy. That is a lesson we teach our children. We teach them about respect, no matter what the differences of opinion. And even then, with all the lessons that we try to teach our children, while they may listen to what we have to say, they definitely watch what we do. Our children are watching Bermuda. They are watching us make decisions, how we deal with our disagreements, and of course, how we lead and govern our country. That's why the events of last Friday were so upsetting, because whether you were a demonstrator, police officer, or parliamentarian, we are all Bermudians. And for our children's sake, we cannot let civility be threatened in a way that diminishes respect for each other. Our goal in proposing a new airport wasn't to divide us, but to bring us together in the construction of a world-class airport of which all Bermudians can be proud. For most people traveling to any country they visit, the airport is the first and the last thing that they experience. For Bermudians, it is also a vehicle that supports tourism and jobs. There's been a lot of talk about value for money. However, we've seen time in and time out again how the tender process has promised value for money, but instead brought anything but. It has brought cost overruns and concerns and delays. Port Royal saw an excess of $4 million overrun. Transport Control Department, $10 million. The Dame Lois Brown Evans Building, $20 million. The Heritage Wharf, $20 million, plus a $4 million repair fee. Barclay Institute, $55 million. Instead of value for money, Bermudians were hit with tens of millions in cost overruns just for these 5 projects alone, all paid for by us, the taxpayer. The opposition has called for returning to the same risk of delays and cost overruns that have plagued RFP projects in the past. Perhaps they say we should borrow $100 to $150 million to paint, patch, and repair an existing facility that is well past its prime. Perhaps delay the redevelopment of the airport for 10 years and then borrow $250 million to $350 or more to build a brand new terminal sometime down the road. Perhaps add another $350 to $500 million to Bermuda's already overburdened national debt and risk a downgrade of Bermuda's credit rating that would, of course, increase the cost of borrowing even more. We had to find a new way, a better way, and I believe that we have. It is an approach that has been endorsed by the British government. It has been endorsed by the Independent Airport Council International and the Bermuda Hotel Association. This is a creative approach that would deliver Bermuda's visitors and air travelers an innovative, modern, first-class airport, and a guarantee for it to be on time and on budget. We have formulated an airport redevelopment plan that will create an environmentally friendly facility able to withstand damage from severe storms and hurricanes. The proposed new facility will provide wheelchair accessibility, and enclosed passenger boarding bridges, enhance passenger comfort through updated lounges and terminals, and the most importantly, create hundreds of jobs for Bermudians, boost our tourism, and provide millions of dollars to help rebuild our economy. Ultimately, and what is critical for the people to appreciate, is that ownership and control of the airport will remain with the Bermudian people. The funds that will be freed up with this very creative approach to building this new airport can be used in other areas, renovating our schools, introducing roadside sobriety or speed cameras, enabling the government to provide cost of living increases to our seniors, implementation of progressive payroll tax reform to ease the burden on lower income earners. All of this with no increase to our national debt or to the cost of debt service. As Premier, I recognize that tensions and emotions continue to be high. And as a responsible government, we must take every tangible step to cool those tensions. The events of last week were difficult for everyone across the island. In addition, I have been further troubled regarding the threats against my life. There is no place for hate or intolerance. I have and I will continue to engage with the opposition and implore them to find consideration for the sake of the country and all Bermudians. In that vein, I've had discussions with the opposition leader and the Speaker of the House, and it is agreed that we will not sit tomorrow and instead resume on February 3rd of 2017. We will use this time to calm, to heal, and of course, to reflect on the meaning of this season that we enter: peace, love, hope, and joy, the Christmas season. My fellow Bermudians, we come from a history of strength with some significant obstacles and challenges. But I know, together, we can rise out of this very divisive rhetoric that seeks only to define us by difference and not by commonalities. This is not a time for finger-pointing. It's a time to join hands. It's an opportunity to heal those things that divide us. And there is no more powerful way to express our commitment to those ideals and of the highest standards of public service than leading by example. And that goes beyond working even more for the respect of each other. It's respecting the rule of law and democracy and the institutions that we entrust to uphold them. And importantly, respecting the rights of those who may disagree to express themselves in a peaceful and legal manner, while at the same time also respect the rights of other citizens who may not share the same view, but who elected us on both sides of the aisle to allow those of us serving in the People's House to do the work that we need for the good of all people.
You've been watching Press Talk right here on CITV. Join us next time for all your government news and information. I'm Lisa Pickering.